Okay, now I see the audio is working, but it's not going to be great audio today because everyone, I forgot a microphone. So this is our first kind of test broadcast of this. I hope this is working now. Everyone, are we working? Are we live? Are we live? Are we live? I think so. So if you can hear me out there in the world, this is going to be the new setup, although the audio is going to be better. I would like to have a pin mic, but this is the way it's going to be. So down below, you can see, I'm looking at it now here, I think, the number of accounts that we're going to be using as we build this $100 million business, the number of listings we have live, the total dollar amount listed, days since we've launched, and the total revenue. And you can follow with us live. So I think that's going to be super exciting. We'll do this live stream every single day, and you'll see these numbers changing all the time. So I'm going to go onto my own live and make sure that everybody can hear me. We're good. Okay, good. It's not the best sound. Sound is low volume. I know, everyone. This is 100% because the input sucks. But I know the sound sucks. What can I do about that? I don't know if there's anything I can do about that today, guys. This is going to be a problem, I think, today. Can we all live with the sound? Can we all live with the sound? Let me know. Can we live with the sound? Is the sound okay? Can we live with it? Input. Can we live with it? Guys, can we live with the sound? Somebody thumbs me up. Can we live with the sound? Can we hear it? Yeah, we can live. Okay. Tomorrow, when we do this live, there is no mic, everyone. This is the problem. There is no microphone today. The microphone is not present today. No microphone. No microphone. No microphone today, everyone. So we're going to have to kind of... I'll shout. Want me to shout? I'll shout. I'll shout it out. But here we are. This is the way the setup is going to be. However, I will have a microphone next time so that you guys can hear me and it's a little bit louder. I apologize for this. I forgot the microphone today because I wanted to test this new setup. And the fact that it is even working is incredible. So let's get into everything. Let's get into the things here. I want to say hi to everyone, but I'm going to go back. I know I need a mic, Lou. Charlie, I know. I forgot it today. I forgot. Or I can end behind the bubble wrap, constant screaming. I can end this. I can run back and get a microphone and come back and do this at 1 o'clock. But really, it's better to just, let's do this. I know for tomorrow, I made a mistake. My mistake. Okay, so here in 20 days when we go live, although I think it's going to be sooner than that, you can see down below here that we're going to have the number of accounts. And once we get started, I'm going to, once we get started, you'll see these numbers rolling. So it'll list the number of accounts that we have on eBay, and then also we'll give you the name of each account so you can add it and follow it and make sure that we're not lying and keep us accountable and make sure we're not putting in products that are $200,000 that are actually only worth $5. So you can keep us accountable there. The number of listings total, the total dollar amount listed total, this is on all the eBay sites or the eBay accounts that we'll be launching, the number of days since the launch, and then our total revenue rolling. So, so this is the new setup. We've got the eBay or the List Easier logo here. We got the eBay logo here. I've got the warehouse behind us. I got to make sure I don't look up too much and I look at the camera. But I'm super excited about this because this overlay took me a little bit, and I can keep updating the numbers live in the overlay. So it's super exciting for me to have everybody follow along. I'm super pumped for this. Okay, so the question of the day. Is eBay search broken? The answer is no. No, eBay search has changed. The eBay search has changed, in my opinion, from a keyword search that it used to be to now, of course, it's looking for discoverability and optimization. So eBay has, in my opinion, changed things because they've had to. This is my opinion. They've changed things because they've had to so that the items become more discoverable. It is now integrating with AI because that's the way the search engines went. And you guys know I'm going to talk about AI, but that's what's going on. And what really got me kind of started on this was somebody reached out to Kevin, Commonwealth Picker, and said something like, even if I put in the title of my own items, I can't find my items on eBay. And I've heard that before. So the thing is, if you can't find your items on eBay, how is a customer ever going to find it? So it's just changed. Now eBay is indexing for optimization because that's how their surfacing and search algorithm works. Did it just dump me? No, we're good. Okay. So everything's changed now. Everything is AI. It's changed very quickly. It's going to continue to go that way. Now, before everyone's like, oh, this is brutal. I'm sick of AI. I hate it. Just also know that, and hopefully my sound is still good because who knows? This is the first time going. But also know that hustle culture, and we're going to talk about this tomorrow, is over on eBay. You don't need to hustle anymore. That's what everybody had to do up to this point, these 12, 13, 14-hour days, 10-hour days, get this done, get that done. You don't have to do it anymore. You can do it in an hour or two. The whole game's changed. Opportunities change. It's easier now. You don't need to be killing yourself. You don't need to be behind. You can always be ahead. That whole part of the game has changed, but also the search algorithm has changed. So you still have most of the people, as in 99% of people on eBay, grinding and pushing and putting out all these listings that are never going to get seen because the way the algorithm searches and surfaces has changed. And what that is called is discoverability. Discoverability of items has changed permanently and it's not going back. Discoverability of items off eBay, where a lot of sales are happening, Google, Grok, ChatGPT, etc., has changed. Everything has changed. So eBay search isn't broken, it's changed and it's not going back. The thing is, we notice changes in the algorithm, in the search algorithm, years ago. I believe at that point they were already preparing for the new future. eBay's a tech company, they're ahead. And I didn't realize what was going on, but it was the listings that were the problem. Looking back when I had this, crazy drop in sales, I was like, what happened? What's going on? Search is broken. That was my mindset. But my listings were broken because they weren't optimized. And new search didn't recognize the items, so it wasn't showing it to buyers. No longer discoverable. That's what happened. I was using the bulk listing tool. I was trying to change as little as possible or fill out few item specifics. I wasn't putting anything in the description. I was doing titles the way I wanted to do them, not the way the buyer wanted to do them. Nobody was finding my items. It's changed. It's completely changed. That's not how it works anymore. So it's discoverability that's changed. And I'm going to get into the live chat, but I just really wanted to say that because it was a huge epiphany that we had months ago, but now we're really seeing it because you can see that people who have discoverable items are getting ranked high in search, surface, and off-site, and they're converting to more sales. And those who aren't are like, I'm killing myself, I'm working my butt off, why am I not getting sales? Like, it would have been nice to know a few years ago. I had like a 70% drop in sales. The issue was my items. They were not surfacing anymore. They were no longer discoverable. Even though I'd always been doing it that way, it just dropped off and it never came back. And now it's a totally different story. I have not listed, guys, anything on my main account in probably a month and a half. And if you're watching my account, you'll see that. Maybe over a month. I still get on my items that are indexed or that are done through AI, I'm still getting sales every single day. I'm still getting $500 in sales every single day. I haven't listed in a month and a half. That will continue because those ranks are surfacing and high. They're getting ranked high in search rank. They're getting ranked high off-site. I have a ton of checkouts from people that have zero feedback. It's changed. So we have to change too. So let me jump into the chat. Oopsie doodle, Josh, don't touch that. Let me jump to the chat. It's changed. It's changed. But no one came out and said, hey, here's the deal. We got this thing coming. It's called AI. We're going to gear our search towards it. We've already been talking to Google and OpenAI and building partnerships and relationships with them. We're going to change everything around because we have to. Nobody said that. We have to figure it out ourselves. And I don't know that I would know it had we not gone on this journey with List Easier and looked behind the curtain with our devs and programming team where they're like, oh no, here's the reason why. How would we ever have known? We never would have known. And the reason why I'm shouting for everyone who's joining me is I'm not upset. I just forgot the microphone today. So this is a new setup with this down below, which I'm super pumped to have everyone watch us build this business live. This is super cool. So I'm really excited for this. Rin Resale says, good to go. Awesome, awesome. Axe Monkey says, now I hear you. That's awesome, Tammy. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, Rin Resale. David Varner, hi, Josh. Sound is low volume. I hear you. You don't hear me, but I hear you. Tone Mesa says, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Give me a thumbs up. We're building a $100 million business. This is going to pump this community full of life. I promise you. Hit the thumbs up. Snoopy Collector says, hello. Good to see you. Lou's giving me a hard time. Lou, Charlie's giving me a hard time. It's okay. We're friends for a long time now, so he's got permission. DBach10 says, the person listing, will they also be doing the pricing for each individual item? Yeah, so if you're talking about List Easier, pricing right now is up to you. We provide the eBay sold comp so that you can click on to do your price research. We send you to eBay. The reason we do that instead of a price suggestion at this point is that we work very closely with eBay. We are not allowed to scrape their data, their pricing data. So we link you to the eBay website where you can do your own price research. Over time, we are developing right now our own systems for pricing through market intelligence that we've purchased or will be purchasing, and of course our own data, right? We're processing a lot of data. So we can give suggestive pricing as we build that vertical of our business, but we're not quite there yet. But it's coming. Know that it's coming. So up to this point, you're required to do your own pricing. But that being said, all the pricing that you do, it actually helps us get further. You know, every day that more listings are processed, it gets us further and further to being able to provide that for our customers. So it's a big innovation that's on its way. The 405 Picker says, hello, good to see you. Lots of new names. This is why I feel like this is connecting. Doing this is connecting. Because we're getting a lot of new people in. Bearded Picker Scott says, what's up, Josh? Search seemed to be off in the last 48 hours. Sales okay in Maine. Media suffered. I mean, you know, I don't know. It's close to the holidays. Like, who knows what all the things are, but definitely eBay's search. Yesterday was a weekday for me, but Saturday I was strong. Friday I was strong. I don't list anymore because I got so many other things going on right now with this business. As many of you know, List Easier has merged or been acquired. Or sorry, my WHS Stereo View, Wilson Harbor Sales, has been merged or acquired by List Easier. So that by the end of the year, that should be fully wrapped up or at least winding down. I don't want to have to do another tax season if I don't have to with it. But my sales were strong still. So hang in there, Scott. They're still coming. You probably have a huge spike day. Everyone says, good, good, good. Move your mic closer. Snoopy Collector, yes. No, terrible. We quit, says Bearded Picker. Good enough. Says 405. Tammy says, this weekend was very slow. Thankful I got what I got. I'll say this, Tammy. I'm doing every single day. I do a ton of outreach. So you guys will probably see it. If you're subscribed to List Easier, I reach out. I'm just like, hey, you know, here's what's going on, or this is what we're doing. So I got hardly anybody contacted back. They usually do, you know, I get a lot of emails back like, hey, it's this, or I'd like to do that, or how's it going? But I didn't get anything back. All my outbound, all my outreach, nobody really contacted me back. So I think it might just be across the board that it's a busy time of year. People are hustling on the weekends. And, you know, let's see what happens today and tomorrow. Uh, let's go, says D-Bot. Eric Gunta, my man, says, it's all good, keep rolling. Behind the Bubble Wrap says, good morning, folks. Welcome, welcome, both to Eric and Behind the Bubble Wrap. Tony Mesa says, yes, that's right, man. We will forgive you this time. You need a mic. I demand constant screaming. You're getting it today from me. I'll be hoarse by the end of this. Den Decor Depot says, good day, Josh. We had a record-breaking weekend. Wheels up. Let's go. Wheels up. Wheels up. That's a flight reference. So wheels up is what you usually say when you're boarding the aircraft. 5 minutes till wheels up, or wheels up at 0700. So I love that. Awesome. Eric says, keep her going. Shout, shout, shout it out loud. These are the things I can do without. Come on. I'm talking to you. Come on. Josh Graff says, of course, eBay search is broken. Everything everywhere is broken. We might as well all give up and go live under a bridge. Of course, Josh being sarcastic, but this is an important point. Over the past 3 or 4 years, I think we can all say a lot of people have suffered. It's been hard. Technology has changed. Anyone who says it's not the case is living under a rock. We've moved from the way we were used to doing things to this brand new world, which for some is scary and for others is like, oh my God, this is like a dream come true. It's made life so much easier. This has changed in the last couple of years. But in that time, while these changes were happening, a lot of people, business was down, business was slow, struggle. And now in this last 4 or 5 months, it's like taking off like a jet for a lot of people, not everyone, but for a lot of people. Now, things that used to take you 12 hours or 10 hours takes you 1. Now, feeling like you're behind all the time and there's this big pile of crap that you got to get through, it's, that's not the case anymore. Hustle culture on eBay is dead. Hustle culture is dead on eBay. 1995 to 2025, I'm calling it 30 years old. It's dead. You don't need to hustle anymore. You can be ahead all the time. You don't need huge death piles. You shouldn't be working 10 hours a day. It's done now. You don't need to do it anymore. It's over. So for the people who see it that way, it's amazing. This is incredible. It's a dream come true. If you're grinding and killing yourself, step back and look at your processes and be like, why am I still doing this? You don't have to do these things that we all had to do for all these years to build our business. There's this small period of time where there's a strategic advantage. Shout louder, says Den Decor Depot says, so would your optimization lessen the need to do offsite ads and promote onsite? Okay, so let me address the two. Definitely offsite ads are a redundancy if you're using our software. This is a really bold claim, but it's the truth. So I've talked about this a few times. Somebody said, oh, you say the same things over and over again, but it's true in this case, and it should be said. Offsite, the way Grok, ChatGPT, Google, you name Gemini, all the search engines, all the LLMs, the way they crawl for content or the way they crawl for your listings is they want to index it, but they're looking for content. So in this case, the description is super important. So, and it can't just be a fluffy. This is where you got to be careful. So for a lot of people, they'll prompt their own in Gemini saying, make an optimal or ChatGPT, make an optimal description, and it will fill something out. You just got to make sure it's not super fluffy. It truly has to be an optimized description. When those listings get crawled by Google, Gemini, Grok, all these other things, it looks at it as a content-rich page. This is a really good page. In fact, this is the best page that's out there about this item. So when someone searches that item on the LLMs or on Google, it ranks it near the top. So if you're having a conversation with ChatGPT and then at the end of the conversation, you're like, where can I buy this thing? It's going to show you the eBay listing because in ChatGPT's algorithm, through its search and surfacing and discoverability algorithms, it's saying that is the best listing. It is the most optimized, which is why we're always talking about optimization. Now, if you're already at the top of the search, what does promoting do offsite? You're already ranked as high as possible. So in this case, promoting is not as necessary. This changes, I believe, if you have a replenishable listing that's optimized and you're competing with another optimized replenishable listing. That's a whole other story. But if you're doing one-offs, especially unique one-offs, and you're already ranked the highest, promoting off-site becomes a waste of money. You're already ranked as high as possible. On-site promoting is a different story. So it is very possible that in eBay's search, surfacing, and discovery algorithms, they're putting their hand on the scale or their thumb on the scale saying, if you promote, you stand a better chance ranking high. So if they have some sort of qualifier, and I'm making this up, so eBay, I know eBay's logo is here, but this is my opinion. It's not coming from eBay. eBay doesn't sponsor what I'm saying. But in my opinion, they could say 8 out of 10 listings or 4 out of 5 listings need to be promoted to be in the top, 5 or 10 rank, right? That would be how they would put their thumb on the scale, giving promoted listings a better chance on site. So on site, I think promotions, it's a given now. We live in the world now where you have to promote on site, whether it's dynamic or PLS or, whatever you want to do, pay per click, whatever you want to do. But off-site is a different story because now you're already ranking the best. You're getting crawled by AI algorithms, or you're getting crawled by AI. Let's not overcomplicate it, but AI search is crawling, looking for you, and it's communicating with a sell-side AI. And the sell-side AI is optimizing for what the buy-side AI is looking for. It already ranks you as high as you can get. So that's what's going on there, and I think that's a really good question. Josh Graff says, seriously though, usually this close to Christmas, online sales start to dip, but I'm seeing very, very strong sales. Yeah, I just want to also say to people, a lot of shopping right now is going to be happening, especially as we get close to Christmas, is going to be happening offsite. People still go to eBay, right? They still shop on eBay. It's a very popular site. I'm not saying that, but how many people just type into Google, I don't know, Labubu doll, or that's a bad example because it's newer, Nirvana MTV record. So when they type that in, you want yours to rank at the top. Those people are not price shopping. They're not sorting from lowest to highest. They need the record now for Christmas, or they just can't be bothered. Like it's something that needs to happen quickly. You want to rank the highest and capture that sale. So the more optimized listings you have, the higher you rank in surfacing, search, and discovery. And here's the thing. Here's the beauty of it all. If you're watching this and you're like, my head is going to explode, Josh. I don't care about any of this. I don't want to hear about any of this. Like, I'm tired of it, blah, blah, blah. You don't even have to worry. Just press some buttons. Selling on eBay is button pressing now. Press a few buttons. The hard work is done. You take pictures is pressing buttons. You list it is just pressing buttons now. The printing off the shipping form is pressing buttons. That's all it is now. It's just a few buttons. It's not like it used to be. You got to clean your own clothes. You got to box it up. You still got to go buy this stuff. But honestly, the amount of time to get stuff up listed now it's way down. No one should be grinding. There should be no one watching this that's like, I got this death pile. I talked to somebody this weekend that said they were sitting on 10,000 CDs. And I'm like, why? Put them up. That's like $100,000 in stuff. Well, things are a little bit tight right now and it's not the right time and blah, blah, blah. You can list that in a week. Sit down and do it. It's just button pressing now. That's $100,000. It will solve all the problems. I don't understand. So it's changed, everyone. It's changed and it's exciting. It's easier now. It's fun now, is my opinion. It's not something to be afraid of. D-Box says, oh, our employee is going to individually price the items. Yeah. So our employee for this business is going to be pricing the items. We are working on our own. Tune this part out if the AI part bores you, but we're working on our own predictive AI. This requires monster data sets, which we are building. So eventually, nobody's going to have to put in their own pricing. We'll have it all available. Suggestive pricing, as close as we can get it, it'll be grayed out, and you can either approve or disapprove. The next big thing that's coming as far as innovation is concerned will be, of course, UK, Australia. Our accuracy metrics are going to go from, I think, 99.8 to 99.9. It's not a huge deal for most of you, but in certain categories, you're going to see a huge difference. People like Tammy will see a massive difference in one of her categories. Little things like whether or not a comic is Silver Age or Bronze Age, you're going to see that change coming soon, where it's a lot better. So that's coming very soon. UK, Australia, I think I said that already, is coming very soon. And Flex. So Flex is the new kind of listing that we're coming out with, where you can just take a picture of a bicycle, a vacuum cleaner, a computer monitor, a can of soda, and you import them all. It does the category, it does everything for you, and all you have to do is put in the price. So for everyone now, it's easy. It's not hard anymore. I think it's amazing. This is what I would have wanted, years ago when I was working till 2 or 3 in the morning and killing myself and watching videos of people saying you have to work even harder than what you're working already. And I felt like I was pushing a boulder up a hill all the time and not getting anywhere. I was working harder and harder and harder. Sales were going up a little bit, but so is what people were taking out of my pocket. That whole world is upside down now. Now you can barely work and get 10 times the output, double your revenue, and not be stressed. You don't need a death pile anymore. You buy 1,000 things and know that you can listen in a week. Everything's changed. It's all changed. Yeah, Beard's saying sales are spiking today, double yesterday already. Yeah, people are back from the weekend and they're panicked. They're talking to their friends and their office coworkers, and they're like, "Did you get anything for Janie for Christmas? I think she got you something," and they're panicking now and they're buying. Like I got to get my son a baseball bat. I went out to get it on Sunday and they were sold out. Now I'm kind of panicked. I'm like, I will buy it anywhere. I don't even care now. I just got to get it. He needs it. Chicken Toad says hello. Good to see you. Tony Mesa says, since utilizing List Easier in September, our store has had 21 million impressions. Exactly. So what Tony is saying is now his items rank very high in search. So SEO optimized, high in rank. He's getting those top 5 slots when things are being looked for. High discoverability, high in search, high in surfacing algorithm. These are all super important. Getting a lot of offsite traffic coming in, getting traffic coming in from the LLMs. That's what you want. If you can't find your own items on the eBay search and you're working your butt off right now listing items, you're going in circles because you're dumping stuff into a black hole that's never going to get seen. This is the big, big problem. And it doesn't need to be like that anymore. I mean, I wish we could lower the price below 7 cents a listing. I really wish we could. Or if you use the code 4 cents a listing, if we could go even below 4 cents, I wish we could, but everything costs us money as well. But it's changed, and I want to scream from the top of the mountain. Everything has changed. It's easier and better now. It's not something to be afraid of. Okay. It's all changed. It's changed. Tammy says, did you get a package from me today? I haven't checked yet, Tammy. I have not gone and checked yet, but I will check. I know the hats came. So anyone who asked for a hat, the hats came. I'm going to get those boxed and start getting those out in the next day or two. Lou says, you got to say clear prop first. Clear prop. Josh finally caught alive. Ping, good to see you. Ping from California. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you. Lou says, I'm still packing orders over 100 and still getting more. My tape guns are tired. Just got to hang in there another 10 days, Lou, and catch your breath a little bit. Tammy says, I just used Gemini to buy a new car. Found an excellent deal on a 2017 Ford Fusion hybrid with very low mileage. Totally opened my eyes. This is how it is now. So this is an important topic, and I wanted to talk about this tomorrow, Tammy, but I did a video 8 months ago where I talked about AI's coming and all this other stuff, and I received a lot of comments that were like, stay in your lane. It's not, nothing's happening. You're scaring people, but a lot of pushback. And I revisited all those comments because I wanted to see if the mood has changed since 8 months ago to now. What's happened in those 8 months? First of all, the technology has gotten much better. So now you rarely hear anyone saying anything about AI hallucinating because the data sets are trained live and they've gotten so much better. It's been learning over this time. So people are learning to trust it. And when they start noticing that conversations that they're having, like conversationally with AI, is benefiting their life, they start trusting it more. So now, like when you want to buy a car, you ask all these questions and this is what I'm looking for, and you purchase it and you get a really good deal on it. You're like, okay, this thing is working. I got it for cheaper. It's exactly what I wanted. It recommended it. It told me why it was good or why it was bad. It was really clear and everything else. And you're like, I trust it now. Other buyers are doing the same thing. So, again, I'll say the Nirvana record, but it could be clothing, it could be tires, it could be anything. But the Nirvana record, what songs are good, which ones are bad, who did this, who did they ask, all these deep questions. Once they go through it all, that's when they're ready to buy. If your item is not showing, it's not going to sell. So what a lot of people are relying on is still the old method of people going onto eBay, typing it in, promoting heavily, and then hoping they get to the top. But search is changing. The way people find things is changing. eBay knows it because one of their venture companies that they've invested heavily in is called Azoma. They are simply focused on giving companies strong rank in the LLMs. So basically, if you're, Colgate, let's say Colgate Palmolive, you want your brand to rank high inside the LLMs. That's all that Azoma does, is it helps those brands get a strong ranking. That's what we do too. That's our job too, but instead of doing it for Colgate Palmolive or Johnson & Johnson or Christie or Hershey's or whatever, we do it for resellers. But it's the same thing. It's the same technology. We're working on the same projects. So it's just such a great time to actually be doing this right now. Lou, what are you trying to do to me? You're trying to give me a heart attack here. Mild Eye Melancholy says, Saturday and Sunday were the worst 2 days in my 31-day graph, and noticeably so. Is it search? I don't really delve into these blips anymore. You shouldn't either. I honestly think, in my opinion, I just think that people were out this weekend doing things. Christmas trees, all this other stuff, decorating, lights, I really believe that. It's just a busy weekend for everyone. The roads are packed. I live near Toronto. The roads were packed. That's my opinion. But we did look into what you were saying, Biff. I don't know if you heard me in one of the other broadcasts, but when we switch over and do our migration, because we have these huge rollouts coming very soon, you're going to notice a difference in one of the categories. We went in, we looked at it, we fixed it, but you're going to see some big differences coming shortly. Yolanda says, Yolanda, welcome, by the way. Quick question. How do you plan on addressing 300 to 500 sales shipped per day? Tech and sports shut down its store, dealing with 100 to 200 shipped per day with higher margins per sale, my guess. If we need to hire people to ship the items, then that's what we do. So we definitely have 2 or 3 people that can ship as we scale. But you know what? If we got to hire, we got to hire. It's just is what it is. I would never want to scale down or stop things from getting where we want them to go because of a personnel issue. So we've spent, and I'll give, this is Dave. Dave has spent a lot of time making sure that all this is organized, easy to pick. I just watched them both in about 2 hours. I don't know, less than that. Dave's not here. Maybe it was an hour, 30, 40 something minutes. They packed and shipped 60 or 70 items. Maybe more, maybe 100 items. I don't know. They packed a lot this morning. So the systems are in place. It can be done very quickly. I think with the people we have now, we can do 1,000 a day. And then if we need to hire someone, then so be it. If the margins are working and they should be working, then we'll just hire somebody to help. Mild-eyed melancholy. Okay, we already got that. David Varner says our sales are down about 30% this weekend. It was a busy weekend. And also, I don't want to say anything about tech. Like, I know you said that about tech. I don't really know. Tech and I are friends. We often text back and forth on the phone. We call each other, everything else. I have a lot of respect and admiration for Tech. So I don't, I can't speak to his operations or, what he was all doing. But, good for him. You know what? Good for him. Having to ship too much is a good problem to have. We do hear it from customers of ours that say, they didn't realize that if they listed 10,000 things, they would have this many sales, that things would be booming as much as they did. And they sometimes struggle to get their stuff out the door in time. So, not beeping my own horn, but beep, beep. You know what I mean? And it's Flip. It says, I'm not sure if it is what you are implying, but I don't think tech shut down a store due to a high shipping volume. Yeah, I don't really know. I think from what I understand, he shut down his store because he had always planned on reaching a certain point, and then he was going to wind down operations, and he was just doing what he said he was going to do. And it Flip, it says, my eBay was quiet this last weekend, but Etsy and Posh were pretty good. Nice, nice. I want to talk about Etsy and Posh. We are going to eventually have our cross-listing services ready. But again, you don't want to cross-list just for the sake of cross-listing. So we have built the program, and by we, I mean Travis, has built this program so that it can optimize every single listing. That is the number one thing. Otherwise, it's working, but it's like busy work. It's not actually going to help you if you're not getting discovered by buyers. This is the same for cross-listing. You can cross-list items to other platforms, but if it's not optimized, then what is the point? So we are going to get there with the cross-listing, but we want to make sure that every platform that we add, every marketplace that we add, again, your listings are optimized. They're optimized for a sale. Now, if you're listing on eBay, you're using List Easier, you're already getting a high rank off-site. So now it's no longer about getting a high rank off-site. So listing onto, let's say, Poshmark, and then getting a high rank off of Poshmark, although you still will, but it's optimizing for on-site visibility, which, everything we cross-list to, we want your items coming up first. That's the whole point. You sell more. I mean, if we're not doing what we're saying we're doing, and we're not giving you the results, people are going to be in this chat saying you're full of it, you're lying, it doesn't work, my items listed, my sales are going down, but that's not what you're here. So we got to make sure the same happens on Poshmark. You're getting ranked highest. That's the number one thing. Once your rank is high, then it's up to you. You got to have good pictures, good price, everything else, but we want you to rank at the top. Behind the bubble wrap says, nice, I'll take a shipping job. My current record is 11 packages per hour. Yeah, the shipping is taken now. It's gone. But, part of it, too, is our buying strategy. We want items that are quickly going into boxes or, envelopes. So we don't want something that takes, breakables where you got to wrap it and everything else, or take it apart and ship it in pieces. So that's really not the stuff we're looking for. Viv, welcome. Good to see you. Says, sorry if you have already addressed this, but List Easier for the UK coming soon, coming very soon. So we have a massive rollout planned soon. This is going to include accuracy increasing by 0.1%. It's going to include Australia and the UK, and It's going to include, for those rollouts, language that is native to those markets, and also something called Flex List or List Flex. So we'll just call it Flex, where you can list individual items. It gives you category suggestions, and then it processes the rest of the information for you. So all those things are coming in one shot. Yeah, Lou Coin says I average 2 minutes per order shipping. So that's part of the thing, is that if you get these big breakable things, or they require a unique packaging or unique box, then all of a sudden the unit economics on that item becomes more expensive. So for what we are doing here, to get to $100 million, we're on the road, or we're going to be on the road soon. We got to make sure that everything is efficient, quick, not overly complicated. We don't want to fill this place up with big boxes and big items. Shelf space is very important. We have to make sure that we're optimizing our shelf space. Yeah, Upstate Picker says, is there an easy way to find a failed listing from a batch? Yes, Upstate Picker, there is. So if you upload, let's say you upload 200 items and it says one failed to list, there's probably something in there that eBay's API doesn't like the word ivory or something along those lines, something weird. Take that whole batch, Upstate Picker, and send it again. So click on the batch, don't upload photos, all that, but just go back to the batch and list it again. It will list the one item, or it will tell you which item it didn't list. It will not relist the other 99. We have a process in place that prevents that from happening. So go back into the batch that you listed that has the one failure in it and just relist it. And it will tell you what the problem is, or it will push it through. That's the best way to do it. I should probably have a video produced on that, but we kind of keep that little trick secret, Upstate, because we're afraid that people will create an entire new batch with all new photos and everything and do a double listing. But if you just go back into the batch, send it live, it will fail the 99 that shouldn't go through, and it will allow the one that should go through to go through. That's the best way to do it. Scott says, you can't win with resellers. My sales suck, or I quit because I have to ship so much. First world problems. I want to ship too much. Easy to solve. Well, you do hear that. So, there are a lot of people out there, and this is possible now too, that want to do less work but get more income. Unfortunately, if you have to ship more items, that's more work. So less work, more income. I think Flex will help with this. So yes, you can just go to you want to do 100 listings a month. Like, you just spend the $15 and let the program list it for you. You know you're going to sell it. You don't have to kill yourself. It's part-time income, blah, blah, blah. But if you want to do this full-time, you want to have too much to ship. So, we're in this weird period of time now where the software is like an ATM. It's spitting money back at you, but you still have to ship. And you still have to buy the items and all that other stuff. So, yeah. Having too much to ship is a good problem. David Varner says, me too. McLeod Marketing said, did you say that there will be an update where I can list one-off items without creating a batch? Yes. Yeah. So we have that operational for us right now. It's in beta test. I think it's working. There's like 1 or 2 errors, but we got to make sure when we launch we don't have any errors. But it's built and ready to go. And I think McLeod Marketing, that's where you're going to see, that Flex, that one-off listing, that's going to be great for people who just want their time back. They don't care about building big businesses or 6-figure income or, all the kind of financial perks that comes with growing a business to scale. They're more interested in optimizing their time. Like, I don't want to come home from work and then have to sit in front of a computer for 5 hours or get up at 4 in the morning and list for 5 hours. That's where that Flex program is really going to come in helpful, and it will help them scale their business, especially for the people who are on the fence right now of, I want to leave my job, but I can't afford to. and you start using this kind of program, you'll see the opportunity. I'm not saying to do it, but the opportunity may present itself. Okay, where am I on time here? Nobody knows. This is the problem with OBS. I have no idea how long I've been on here for. Yeah, Lou does 2 minutes per order. Behind the Bubble Wrap says, after that hour, I'm usually hot and sweaty, but I can't wait till that first 100 package day. I've had a few 100 package days, and it usually happens to me when I really don't want it to. So somebody will say something like, can you combine these 90 items into one listing for me? And I'm like, oh, yes, I guess I can do that. Yeah, that's a lot of work. But it's happened to me before, and it is good. I mean, it is really good. Alpnach says, when you make that $100 million, bring that money to Switzerland. Regards, Edward. Grüß dich. Vielen Dank. I hope that alles ist gut mit dir. Thank you, Alpnach. So viel ist passiert, seit ich letztes Deutsch gesprochen habe. So ich habe das alles vergessen. So es tut mir leid. Viv says, please hurry up. I'm currently paying 50 pence a listing. I have 150,000 books awaiting you. Yeah, we're gonna, that kind of usury and that kind of ripping people off and I'm not calling anybody out, but for non-optimized listings that aren't going to perform any better, that's about 75 cents or 70 cents a listing. We're coming for you. We're coming for you. So I think if you were to get the top plan, I think it goes down to almost 2 cents or 2 pence a listing. So those days, their days are numbered. If you're getting ripped off by someone, their days are numbered. You're welcome, Upstate Picker. I appreciate you. Joe says, howdy, better late than never or not at all. Welcome, my man. I think you're Joe Samard. The Cloud Marketing says, that's awesome. I will definitely make the switch when that happens. Yeah, a lot of people are waiting for that in Cloud Marketing. But we've been so focused. It's something we probably could have launched earlier, but we have been so focused on discovery, optimization, search ranking, searchability, all these different things. So, and it's taken us hundreds of thousands of beta tests to ensure that we're getting it right. So it's been the focus. It's been deep diving. We're there now. We're seeing the results. We're seeing the results from users. Now we can start bringing in features that people have been asking for, auctions, UK, Australia, all these other things, one-off items. So it's super exciting. I don't program any of this stuff, but I get to see it, and it blows my mind. It's just very, very well done. The user interface, the user experience is really, really good, so I think you'll enjoy it. The mic must be out to lunch, Lou. Lou is on it. And it flip it says, yep, I'll be signing on when we can do those one-offs. It's coming soon. Scott says, today should have been a 95 package day. Shipped out 60 of them yesterday. List easier is kicking butt. You're not far from 100 item days, Scott. I think what John said to you is the best advice. You just do something and stick with it for a long enough period of time. And then once you start doing 100 packages a day, you're like, I can't believe, there was a time where I was only listing 2 or 3 items a day or a week or whatever. So I was talking to Dave about that today. Dave is like, Scott's really kicking ass. Like, he's really building a crazy business. I'm like, I know, man. Every time I go there, he's got like another 1,000 items listed. Or if I look at his solds, it's like, December 15th, December 15th, December 15th, December. And I'm scrolling down and I'm like, man, what's going on here, Scott? What's going on here? Craig Winans, good to see you, my man, says, what's the maximum size store for a one-person operation that List Easier is efficient for if you consider time needed to ship? It's different for everyone, Craig. I think once you get there, So I mean, if you're shipping, let's say you build your eBay store using List Easier, and you put up 30,000 items, and then you find that you're shipping 200 items a day, and you're like, I'm drowning, I can't keep up with this. Then dial it back. I think once you start scaling for a lot of people, your business, and you get comfortable with the processes, you'll know when you get there, but you reach the state where you feel like you're in control. You're in control of your business. You're not behind. You don't have death piles or anything. You're making good enough money that you don't really have the financial stress that you once did. And you can go out and find things and blah, 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 blah. I think when you get to that point, then you have to make the decision. Do I want to take it to the next level, or am I comfortable here and I'm happy to do this? A lot of times what happens is people will scale that up. They'll find that sweet spot and they'll coast there for a little bit. And then once they're comfortable with their systems and processes, maybe they scale, maybe they're okay with that. Maybe it's more important to them that they go to the YMCA, go for a swim, a workout, and have dinner every single day. It really depends on the person. But maximum size is not in the vocabulary of List Easier because you can just keep going and going if you choose to. Southern Vermont says, hope all is well. Get them, Josh. Everyone stay safe and busy. I appreciate you, Southern Vermont. Where am I on time? I don't even know. Oh, I gotta go. It's 1 o'clock. Okay, everyone go to Spam Banshee and Primo Kimbo. They're going live right after this. I'll have a mic next time. This is going to change. Numbers are going to change. It's going to be super awesome. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for joining me today, and we will see you tomorrow in tomorrow's video. Take care.